So the whole construction in this video is about the industrial area and expanding the car system. And here Sven Magnus is making a nice edge for the sidewalk. So it's not just the styrofoam there, and here we glue it in place finally. So, and we want to expand the Viessmann Car System into the edge there of the city, but we cannot cross Märklin tracks because they are magnetic and they immediately deflect the car. So we use DC track where we put a center third rail, and then we're going to show you how we're going to solve having the cars across there. So here we put the cable below to connect them and test that it works. And here Sven Magnus is gluing plastic where we will have the street. But before we get there, we are gluing the paper to the sidewalk to make it the asphalt. And we use that special contact glue because it doesn't contain any water.
Crap.
Yes.
Like a garden hose. We're much fatter than we thought.
Yeah. So to make the street where the car drive and having the train pass, we need to make it conductive, and we choose some thicker aluminium foil. And Sven Magnus is worried about galvanic corrosion, so he bought this thick aluminium cable, but it was way too thick to be usable. So here we cut this sheet between the track, and then I just basically tape a copper wire, and if it ever goes bad with galvanic corrosion, I'm going to make it new. And now we have to expand the layout to fill the holes behind the layout, which was thought to be for a backdrop, but that will come later. So when I constructed that part of the layout in 2018, I thought we would put a backdrop, but we changed plans, so now we had to extend the layout. And obviously we have a piece of Depron for the street. So now we have to install the magnetic band, and due to the geometry we have a single lane there, so it will be a bit complicated with the controlling, but yeah, I got stuck. So some improvisations that we can test it. So after it worked, we could cut it free with the structure of the road. So after the road was installed, we had to redo the street in between. It fall off, so we sanded it and then put new glue. And this time it held. Okay, then it was time to install the Depron in the back of the layout. It's just some measurement and cutting at that point. So, and for the level crossing we need some signaling, so I bought these Swiss warning lights from Busch. And they come with their own blinking electronics, which is just connect DC and it works. And it was about installing the remaining street. And then we have to test that 2 trucks can cross when a train is standing there. And you see it works even if there is a long car there. Then the paper had gotten loose around the container terminal, so we need to glue it back and weight it down with batteries of the lamps. And then it was time to draw the magnetic strip in the city, and then we have found that this bucket gives the perfect minimum radius. So then we probably mounted the magnet strip with masking tape, and then we could check that it actually works. This is like the first version because we decided to put 2 switches when we do the expansion to the rest of the city. And we want to make a little waiting area for the cars and trucks, so I had bought the Faller kit Beethovenstraße, and we want to use it to hide the trucks when they wait. So we just had to figure out how to put the houses on the street. And then come our most stupid idea of the year. We wanted to stiffen the Depron with the street, and we glued this cardboard we had lying around, and it was nice at the beginning, but then it started to warp and we were unable to de-warp it. So, and then came the final mounting of the magnetic strip. And then comes obviously a testing time. So the small truck was working, so we tested the longer one because they behave differently. And it got stuck, so we have to adjust the things a little bit. And testing the other direction is also important. And it got stuck again. So then we cut the cardboard before we noticed that it had warped. So, and then it was time to mount the magnetic strip. So that's for this time, and in the next episode you will see how the whole country came to us to do a very big train room expo.